Hello, friends, and welcome to another Origins of Expressions. Today, we'll be going over the phrases gloves are off, on the ropes, throw in the towel. What do they all have in common? They're all phrases and idioms around boxing. Let's get right to work and start this video. Boxing, a sport where two people throw punches at each other for sport in a boxing ring. While humans have fought in hand-to-hand combat since the dawn of human history, the earliest evidence of any type of boxing can be seen in carvings from the 3rd and 2nd millennia BCE. The earliest evidence of boxing rules dates back to ancient Greece, where boxing was established as an Olympic game. Where boxing has been such a long and important part of our sporting history, it is no surprise that we have phrases in our literature to express them. Today, we will explore 3 expressions where boxing is the theme. Let's not waste any time and jump into our first phrase. Gloves are off. Gloves are off means from this point forward, nothing will be held back. No restraint, no mercy will be shown. This fight is about to get serious. Whew, the gloves are off. This phrase has been said to come from a few different origins. The one that comes to most people's minds is boxing, or specifically, boxing gloves. Boxing gloves started to be used around the beginning of the 1800s. Before that, fighting was done with bare fists. Some say the phrase gloves are off is referring to taking off padded gloves in order to engage in a more brutal, less structured bare knuckle fight. However, there is an earlier variation of this phrase, to handle someone without gloves, which was used in the early 1700s. It shares much of the same meaning. To handle a person without gloves was to deal with them in a rough and uncompromising way. It was most likely an allusion to gentlemen back then taking their white gloves off to prepare for a serious and perhaps violent confrontation. According to the Oxford Dictionary of English Idioms, it says, the contrast implied in this phrase is that a gloved hand handles things gently or in a civilized way. Today, we still hear the expression, the gloves are off, when we are getting upset during a fight or an argument, and there will no longer be any hesitation or compromise to our actions. An example sentence is, at first, the argument over the neighbor's fence was quite civilized, but when one threatened to sue, the gloves came off. Well, they have a few things to figure out. Let's leave them and move into our next phrase. On the ropes. On the ropes means that things are not going well and collapse or defeat is very near. Well, I'm on the ropes. The idiom on the ropes comes from the world of boxing. No, really this time. A boxing ring is enclosed by large, heavy ropes. When a boxer has backed his opponent into the ropes, that opponent has no means of escape. His ability to punch and defend himself is restricted. In addition, a boxer who is near collapse may grab the ropes in order to support himself and stay on his feet. The term on the ropes means a boxer who is in trouble and near collapse was first used in the 1800s. The earliest appearance of this saying that I could find is from the year 1820. It is used in Blackwood's magazine. It reads, at the close of one round, when Bill had got his adversary on the ropes, he went over him in a somerset, in a way that we do not remember to have seen practiced either before or since. On the ropes moved into mainstream English as an idiom in the 1920s, a time when many sports terms became everyday idioms. Today, you will still hear the phrase on the ropes when someone is saying that they have been defeated or a project might collapse or they feel helpless. An example sentence is, Tom's job is on the ropes because of how frequently he shows up late to work. Well, he better get an alarm clock if he wants to keep that job. Let's leave him and move into our next phrase. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel means to give up, to avoid further punishment when facing certain defeat. Well, I better throw in the towel. This expression also originates from boxing. When a boxer is suffering, the boxer's trainer literally throws in a towel to stop the fight and accept defeat. Before we ever saw the phrase throw in the towel, we saw a different phrase, throw in the sponge. Sponges were common ringside accessories in the early 1700s. Throwing in the sponge was the preferred method of conceding defeat. As time went on, we swapped the sponge for the towel, not only in the ring, but also in our phrase. We see the phrase throw in the towel in the early 1900s being used in a figurative sense to indicate giving up in a non-boxing situation. An example in 1916 by author Clarence James Dennis in his World War II patriotic novel, The Moods of Ginger Mick. It reads, "Don't make a song of it. I hear 'em growl. I've done me limit and tossed in the towel." Today, we still hear the phrase to throw in the towel when we are saying that we are done, finished, admitting defeat or failure. An example sentence is, "My brother was so fed up with his manager that he threw in the towel and quit his job." Well, looks like he needs to look for a new job. Let's leave him and move on. Ooh, fun fact. Did you know that boxing, also called pugilism, is considered a martial art? Yep, that's right. A martial art is a sport or skill that originated as a form of self-defense or attack. Martial arts are classified as systems and traditions of combat practiced for a number of reasons, such as self-defense, competition, physical, mental, and spiritual development, entertainment, and the preservation of a nation's cultural heritage. So, where did the name martial arts come from? The etymology of the word derived from the Old Latin term meaning arts of Mars. Mars was the Roman god of war, and the art of fighting like the gods was developed. Other fighting styles that fall under the martial arts umbrella are karate, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, muay thai, tai chi, sumo, stick fighting, southern dragon kung fu, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. Now that is just a small list. There are so many types of martial arts that I couldn't list them all here. Martial arts are quite interesting. Have you ever studied one? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's the information that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the origins of our idioms and phrases. If you did, it's time to throw in the towel and hit the subscribe button. It's quick and easy, and I would really appreciate it. Oh yeah, quick question before you go. Do you know any idioms or phrases around boxing? Maybe you know other idioms or phrases on an entirely different subject. I would love to see them. Leave them in the comments below. And if I use one of the phrases, I'll give you a shout out. Thank you again for watching and subscribing. I really appreciate your support. Until next time, bye!